Absolutely.
Because like the hero shooter stuff ain't really
It's not popping.
It's not
It's not
popping like
popping.
that.
Not
No.
unless it's already been around for a
Yeah,
while.
and
Yeah.
that's Fortnite and Overwatch basically.
Right. And those are and I'll even say to that, the only reason why those are still popping off is because they have loyalists. Like
Yep.
those are the people who still play those games are people who aren't leaving those games. So you trying to establish a game like that and trying to find people who are going to be loyalists to that.
Four
The
years too
ones
late. Yeah, it
yeah,
was
the
4 years
ones
too
who
late.
are already loyal to something. Everybody else is just there for maybe a season or two and they're done.
Yeah. And that's why I was like the biggest thing that because the biggest thing that had me interested in Overwatch 2 was when they was gonna bring that campaign until Bobby Kotick did.
Right.
And I was like, yep,
I would still like to do a missile drop kick off the turnbuckle into his face.
yeah. Unprotected. Give a couple unprotected chair shots.
With a sledgehammer to the knees.
Yeah. Because I'm like, bro,
thing.
like and to me, if I'm Microsoft, I would do what League of Legends did. Let a bunch of indies take different stories and do them in different gaming formats.
Yep.
That's what I would do to get out to test that water to see, okay, will y'all buy this if we do this? And then once we get that feedback, because you're not making a giant game.
No.
You're making smaller games. That's just telling those specific stories.
And
that's connected to lore.
And Microsoft, give .mu Battletoads so that they can make an actual good Battletoads game. From story and lore perspective, not just gameplay, which was really just a repeating loop.
Yeah,
and having multiple buttons that do the exact same thing, but just touch a different item.
Don't get me started on that game, man. Jeez,
I liked the gameplay. I just hated the button configuration, and I didn't like what they did to the characters. But the gameplay was good.
The gameplay was alright.
I just couldn't stick with it.
Yeah,
because everything else around it made the gameplay feel pointless.
Yeah, made it feel bad.
I ain't gonna lie, those riding segments were fun. The riding segments.
The riding segments were, but that game as a whole was just like.
It's just like they tried to turn it into satire of itself, and it just didn't work.
Yeah, that just. Some people really be thinking they'd be funny, and I'm like, dude, you're not funny because some of that dialogue was like, dude, this ain't funny.
And especially the egregious thing they did to Dark Queen. I'm still mad about that.
Yeah.
Right.
How you take a character that's uber powerful and commands a space army and turn them into Robin from Teen Titans Go.
Basically, yeah.
That was.
But that's why I feel bad. I feel bad for them and the Visions of Mana studio because they put their game out and then they got shuttered that Monday.
Yeah, that's wild to me. That was all a business move.
Horrible.
That was all a business move.
That's why I'm like, okay, y'all are letting. First of all, you're letting games go over budget, and you're still letting them go through. You're putting them out, and if they don't make $200 million in a weekend, they get shuttered. Like, do y'all not know how games were designed to make money over time?
Right.
It was never the movie theater business. Like movies do that because they're looking at stuff worldwide, and Deadpool and Wolverine is gonna make $200 million in the US. It's gonna make $100 million over in Europe or whatever in the weekend or whatever.
Yeah,
the majority of games ain't gonna do that. So if you're trying to get that Pokemon and Call of Duty money, that ain't gonna happen.
No,
it ain't gonna happen like that, dude. So,
I feel like investors are still trying to hammer that into the ground. It's like, you see those numbers, we want those numbers. Like we want those numbers for every single game that you come out with. Those numbers right there.
It's like that. It's not how that
works. It's not realistic.
Yeah. Hell, dude, I'm a Zelda nut job, and like those games didn't sell like that until Breath of the Wild.
No.
Right.
And even then, it still didn't do it all in like one weekend. It took a
No.
minute for it to
Yeah.
get to where it is.
Yeah.
Hey, I love Smash Brothers. The first game, Melee, and Brawl was when it started getting popular. Melee was kind of like underground popular because people was manipulating that glitch. So
Yeah.
it was underground popular, but like it wasn't popular. And then once they did Brawl, that's when people started like the ears started perking up. Then when the Wii U version, the Wii U and 3DS version came out, at that point, okay, this is a home run hit every time.
Yeah, the moment they came out with 3DS version, they knew what they was doing.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, yeah, that's over time though, bro. They built that community and fan loyalty. Y'all be trying to do that. Some of these investors want that off the first damn game. Like, bro, don't even nobody know what you're talking about. So yeah, I feel bad because I'm like, dude, it's too much stuff releasing at the same time, so I can't get everything off the rip. So I'm not helping the situation, but I'm like, bro, I got other stuff like, I would have got Visions of Mana, but I got 4 games that I'm buying in September.
Gee.
I got 2 in October. Bro, it's too much stuff stacked on top of each other. I can't get everything. Right. I am not a baller. I'm a budgeter.
Right.
So
he's like, I'm a planner.
My wallet is empty because I said so.
I plant these seeds and watch them grow. I don't harvest immediately.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's like, yeah, I would love to get it. Like, I like the Visions of Mana demo. I enjoyed it. I just can't get it right now. That's just one of them games. I'm like, bro, I'm
down the road.
to wait. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to wait, and my backlog is ridiculous. Ifsters is probably going to be on the successor.
That
probably going to be on the successor.
That is still a horrible idea, though.
Yeah. to be fair, the art style is basically Trials of Mana. So you know that's why they did Trials of Mana the way they did it, because they were like, that's what they was working on. They're like, let's see if they like this. The little art style, good. We ain't got to change that. That's what that was.
Yeah, that was a bad judgment call. I just think they just made a bad judgment call and said, like, "Oh, we're going to run with this." Took a deal that didn't work.
Yeah,
and the game suffered for it.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, and I'm glad Astrobot is getting the reviews it's getting. I'm hoping it's it's successful, because a lot of these companies need to realize you don't have to stop trying to hit a home run or catch lightning in a bottle every game.
Right.
It's not going to happen like that. And don't be scared to say, "Hey, we still got Sly Cooper. Why don't we give this to a indie company and see what they can do with it?"
Or better yet, why not take some of the games y'all got and just divide your larger teams up into smaller portions, and let them work on them. Have the big project that you have a big team work on, and have your smaller stuff be worked on by just like smaller groups of your teams. That's what Nintendo does.
I'm kind of curious too. Who is left under Sony? Like, I know Sucker Punch is.
Yeah, they closed down Japan studio, so that's closed. That's been closed.
Sucker Punch is still around.
Yeah.
Who's the other one?
Naughty Dog is still around.
Naughty Dog. Gorilla. Was Gorilla?
Gorilla is theirs, right?
Honestly, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if Gorilla is
theirs.
They might
be.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know Sucker Punch and Naughty Dog are theirs.
And I feel like it was one more. Who was doing? Because Sucker Punch at the time was doing the Infamous and all that.
Yeah, they were doing Infamous.
But there's another one. Who was doing? Who does? Is Spider-Man the same one? Is Spider-Man's not Sucker Punch?
I thought that was Naughty Dog.
That's Naughty Dog.
Is that Naughty Dog?
Spider-Man is Naughty Dog. Yeah.
Man, I feel like there's another one in there.
It's RJ got it.
Insomniac. There we go.
Insomniac, yeah. So Gorilla.
So that's really it. That's. I mean, but I haven't heard and the whole thing. Oh, and Ben. Yeah, I forgot about Ben and Asabi. So like, out of all of them, what is Gorilla doing? You know what I mean? Like, can we get an update on maybe some of the other teams that you got? You know what I'm saying? Like,
they're probably helping out on other projects.
And I think that's so crazy. Like, why instead of empowering the small little pieces of projects that you got, like you said, why not split that team in half? Whoever's the main team, split that team in half, have part of Gorilla work into that team, and that other team go work on something a little bit smaller. You know what I'm saying? During that time. If Sucker Punch is doing that, why not work on a smaller Sly Cooper title or something like that, and have the Gorilla team? Because not only are you still getting your big budget done, but you're throwing different minds at it. You're not throwing the same paint at the wall and hoping that it sticks. You know what I'm saying?
You're not chasing Microsoft.
Yeah.
Because that's a big part of the problem is ever since Microsoft got in, they've been determined to prove that they got as much money. And I'm like, no, you don't. You don't.
And here's also another problem with having these exorbitantly large teams.
Mm-hmm.
You have too many voices and too many ideas being circulated around, and then some stuff gets lost in translation.
Right.
So having smaller, more focused teams that take a little bit longer to develop something is better, because then you have all these people together. They're refining whatever they're doing. They're becoming cohesive. Larger groups are harder to create cohesion with unless they all know each other and work well around each other, which you would still need them to have gained that experience from being smaller teams. It doesn't make a difference if you have let's say, for example, you have 30 people who have been in the industry for 20 plus years, and they all have high accolades to their names. You put them all together on a team, and they put out crap. It's because they don't know how to work with each other yet. You have to give them time to be cohesive.
You know who that is? That's the 04 Lakers. That's who it is. You got an all-star cast. And
can't play together with the team.
Shout outs to my Pistons, but you got an all-star cast, and at the end of the day, they couldn't produce because everybody
wanted
to be the leader.
Yeah.
It don't work like that. And the other thing too, like everybody don't have because you have to foster those teams.
Yeah.
You have to foster those teams. You gotta let them play. And once again, everything don't need to be 100+ hour epic repetitive story that's been told 500 times, but it's because you telling it it's supposed to be a masterpiece. Last of Us.
I kind of also wonder how much different everybody's office looks like. You know what I'm saying? Like, I imagine, and I'm not saying this is exactly what it is, but I imagine if you walk into the Nintendo treehouse for exercises or for team building, they may have them go into, playing, garage, you know what I'm saying? And making some sort of game, and like an hour in the office, or 2 hours in the office, they're battling it out on like these made up games that they end up playing. Versus, like, I feel like you walk into a Sony office, and I just feel like it's like, oh, you're here for, it's day 3 of us working on such and such. Like, how much you got done? Because, like, we need to start moving forward on blah, 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 blah. Like, it's all just business. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Like, maybe you might have a conversation with somebody that you've been working with for years. But the feeling to me, just seeing these games come out and stuff, the feeling to me is that it is, like, very much business. And I can imagine that Xbox has kind of toned that down over the years. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like they probably started off that way.
Well,
The
they got called
Xbox
out.
division.
They got called out for it.
Yeah.
Remember, I want to say it was what 2014 or 15
Mm-hmm.
when they came on stage at E3 and talked about all these companies, all these studios they bought, and then 5, 6, 7, 8 years later, still nothing.
Right.
You know, yeah, they got called out for it. That's why they stopped doing that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just is just wild to me. Like I feel like the environments aren't even supporting what you want to have done. You know what I'm saying? Like I can imagine that in Nintendo, America or Japan, like they take the time out, they have fun, you know, they enjoy themselves, and but they also, you know, keep it work related too. Just these other companies are just like make sure you invest, and you know and it's not working.
You got the investors, you got to keep happy. You got and that's why I was like, dude, when you that I think that's the other thing that had just got me like not upset, but just like people basically using Astrobot to be like, yeah, see, this is why this is why this needs to be compared. I'm like, dude, don't compare that game, dude. That game just came out.
Right.
You can't compare it to somebody who's been doing that same thing for 30 plus years, and it's clear that they took their inspiration from the game that y'all saying they need to update stuff with. Like, bro, just enjoy the game you got. Just enjoy it and talk about that game. Don't try to compare.
You know, it's funny. I had a conversation, and this is actually kind of relevant now that you say it. So side note, Michigan lost yesterday. And as you know, I'm a Michigan State fan. So I wasn't gonna say anything to the person about Michigan, right? You know, it is what it is. Y'all lost. It is what it is. I wasn't gonna say anything. And he came to me and he was like, don't even say nothing to me about it. Don't even say nothing to me about it. And I was like, I'm not gonna say nothing. And he's like, cuz remember, like, you know, we still better than y'all, blah, 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 right? And in my head, I'm thinking like, bro, your team lost. Like, why are you spending your time being mad at me about our team when we haven't even played?
Yeah, you ain't even saying that.
So, I ain't said a word, man.
So like, your team is losing. Your team has been losing this whole time, and then y'all get some Astrobot, and it's like, this is the best thing since Juice, and you like, bro, we've been doing this for a while. Like we come up with a new Mario game, and it's just like, oh, sweet, new Mario game. Y'all come with a new Astrobot, and it's like, it's better than you. It's better than you. It's better than you. Just play your game. Just like
it just makes me think of that video or picture to do with third place. He's treating it like he won the whole thing. And everybody's looking at him like, what are you on, bro? Chill. Calm down.
What's up, Vicky?
What's up, Debo?
Vicky? So that's just been one of those. It's been a weekend. I'll put it like that. So I also saw something that I thought was actually pretty interesting, and I was just thinking because apparently now GameStop they're offering a retro shop. Yeah. So I'm sitting there and thinking, I'm like, okay, because there's a couple mom and pop video game retro stores I go to when I'm back home. So I always visit them because they usually have stuff that I can't find and stuff like that. But I was sitting back thinking, like, should like companies like invest in like bringing back their older stuff, just have like an HDMI setup to it now, just to should they do that? Like not like a mini, not like what Nintendo is doing, like the minis. I'm talking about with an actual like, okay, this is a GameCube,
like the full blown joint.
This is a full blown GameCube, but instead of like going the serial route, you got an HDMI port and stuff like that.
Yeah, I honestly think they should because you've already got third party individuals making their own versions of that stuff anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So why not? Or at the very least, create something that you can plug into your consoles that will do it for you, like a converter, even though those are already on the market.
Mm-hmm.
Having an official one pretty much guarantees it'll work.
Because I have a converter for my N64. It is not good on the 70-inch screen. That is
I
not
got
good.
one. I got one for my PS2, and I'm like, dang, this looks even worse.
Yeah, because when you put it on there, like when you put it on there, you see like this was meant to be on a 19-inch screen. This was not meant to be on those 60, 70 plus inch screen. No,
and a wide screen at that, because the format is different. So
way different. So
no. Oh, go ahead.
I was just thinking about it. I'm like, wouldn't it be? But then again, you still have to like manufacture it, so it wouldn't exactly be cheaper,
right?
And then on top of that, you'd have to try to get the games to come back out, and some of those, the licensing for some of those games is probably in the ether at this point.
That depends on what route they take, because if they're just making the hardware to play the games, they don't necessarily have to worry about the licenses.
Yeah,
that's true.
I think side note to that too. I think as long as, well, first off, I'm on for it. I think it's a lucrative business, to be honest with you. Especially when most of us now have kids, and we really want to revisit those titles with our children. But I could actually see them not bringing out their whole catalog, because like Andre said, if it's just the hardware, then the old game should be accessible. However, I would say I think it would be also lucrative if they made like a gold edition or platinum edition, where there's like a game here or there, you know what I mean, like Ocarina of Time gold edition that they drop, and this is or platinum edition, because they already had like the gold
platinum hits.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And it's a platinum cartridge that they drop that they know they're gonna make money off of. You know what I'm saying? But not all the games need to be thrown out there. I just think maybe like a few, Sony could do Final Fantasy VII, or if they really want to be slick, try to drop what's our Xenogears, you know what I'm saying?
Skies of Arcadia.
Yeah, some of those games that like they know that there's, I don't really know if they know anything, to be honest with you, but the games that they know that fans have been like clamoring for, to drop those as like hit games for you to buy as well. And to be honest with you, you could probably drop any of those games at like $50 or even $60, and people won't flinch. Like, they're like, dang, for real? Because I just seen this at my mom and pop shop, and this was $120.
Basically, yeah. That's the thing. Like if you find a Skies of Arcadia game, don't let that thing be shrink wrapped. That's like $400.
Right.
I remember when I found Perfect Dark, I got lucky because the store I went to had it for $70. But I had seen online Perfect Dark in the original N64 box and packaging, not damaged at all, $350. So I was like, man, So I'm like, yeah, I agree with that. Like, but it just got me thinking, just because of the whole retro. And I'm surprised it took GameStop this long to figure that out, because I would have thought they would have figured that out quicker.
Right.
To be honest.
And it's funny because in Michigan, nearly every decent sized city has a retro game store. And we may, I think, at least in my city, we have 2 GameStops. One technically in a different city, but we'll just call it the South, and then one on the North. And so even thinking, and we may have one on the East side, but I don't think so. But anyway, thinking about that, and there only being one real vendor for regular stuff, it kind of throws me off, because most people should like go to the mom and pop joint first. You know what I'm saying? Before, unless it's a new game, and we're starting to live in a digital time now, getting closer to a digital time, I should say, where not as many people are buying that kind of stuff. So I, like you said, I found it kind of weird that they would go from let's sell video games to, well, let's sell like Funko Pops and like all this other stuff, to like, dang, let's sell like the statues and everything. Oh, well, let's sell some cards on top of that. Like my GameStop just started selling used cards. Like they take used Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and I'm like,
Got to find some way to keep the profits up because they've been losing money.
huh?
Been losing money.
Yeah, like what? Why not go back to the retro stuff? Why not? Why not try and cut a deal or figure out? You could have even used Atari, or yeah. Well, I would primarily say like Atari. You could have easily tried to get with them and been like, hey, like let's figure something out for this retro stuff, or even ask Sega, like up until the Sega Genesis or the 32X or the CD, like let's figure out how we can make this stuff still profitable. And that just wasn't a move. It probably took somebody who was probably saying it for a long time, like we should do this, and they were like, "No, that's a dumb idea. That's a dumb idea. Stop asking them questions."
Yeah.
And then they were finally like, "You know what? I'm tired of you asking these questions. I'm tired of you asking these dumb ideas. We're gonna do it. And then if it don't work out, you fired."
And then they found out, oh snap, it works.
Right. Good job. You ain't getting no raise though.
Basically, yeah. Basically, I mean, it is something to think about, I guess, just because it's one of those things that people always ask for, like the whole thing with game preservation, which I think is a load of BS. Because if they really did care, they wouldn't have got mad with all the stuff that was happening before.
Mm-hmm.
If you really did care about game preservation, like that's usually people that saying it don't really care about game preservation.
No, they care about pirating.
Yeah, that's usually what that is. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. As far as that's concerned, because that's just interesting to me, especially with like I know I've been a proponent of like when are we gonna get the GameCube Virtual Console?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I feel like because I thought this move would have been so nasty, like it would have took over the whole gaming industry, to be honest with you. And I'm not even being sarcastic about that. Had they had the next wave of whatever they dropped been like the N64 and the Genesis, where it was the GameCube and the Dreamcast, it would have been a wrap. Like that would have been the end. It would have been over at that point. Because those are two beloved consoles and well remembered after their time. You know what I'm saying? So is to drop both of those at the same time on one system, it would have been over. And the only thing is that Sega, and albeit it was a smart move, was like, we're gonna take all these games from the Dreamcast and remix them. That was a smart move.
I mean, yeah, but now we don't know when they're coming out because it's supposed to have 2 or 3 coming out this year, and that's clearly not going to happen. Yeah, so
that's true.
Like, I don't even know why they. Once again, another situation where you drop the trailer,
mm-hmm.
and haven't had a update since.
Right.
So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that they do an updated Tokyo Game Show. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Or at least give us some time of time of which one's coming first.
Right.
So, because I'm thinking Shinobi and Streets of Rage should be the easier ones to get out because they're just basically brawlers at this point. So you don't have to have a 80 to 100 hour brawler. That doesn't make sense. Right. So
I would as much as I think it will be one of the first ones come out, Streets of Rage, I would hope that it was one of the last, just because we got 4. But it makes sense though.
Being Golden Axe.
Yeah.
Golden Axe. Yeah.
So I mean, yeah. I just want to see something.
Yeah.
I just want to see something. I'm like, are we doing something? What are we doing? Because I ain't heard nothing in months.
Right.
They just been silent.
Yeah.
I had to start emailing Sega directly, like, yo, y'all gonna say anything about these games?
Yeah, man, I know y'all getting ready for Sonic Shadow Generations, but y'all can at least say something.
Right.
Like, hey, is somebody gonna dig in y'all bag and go back and redo Kid Chameleon?
Ooh.
Do that all over again with some new power-ups since you got Mario to be inspired by. I mean, because clearly the propeller helmet was inspired by that spinning flying suit that was in Kid Chameleon, and nobody can tell me different.
I remember that. I remember that. That's too funny. So let's see, what was I looking? There was something I was looking up earlier today. I'm trying to see if I can find it. You know what? I can't find it. Screw it. I'll probably put it on next week. So anything else I want to talk
about? You got something, Andre?
I mean, I could pull something out like a magician pulling a rabbit.
The power of the SSD secret sauce for the Switch Pro is going for the PS5 Pro is going to be even greater than the one that they had for the original PlayStation 5.
You know what?
I would say why the discussion that we've had several times, but why do people keep asking for more power when they know more power is causing a lot of the companies in the industry to fold?
Right. You know what's so funny is the analogy to that is like, yeah, we need more power for these systems because they're not doing what we need them to do. But I forgot what it is. But you know, when they go to grab it and they're like, "Us, I feel the power. I feel it." And they grab too long and it's like, "It's too much power. It's too much. Let's go."
Well, there was the argument that Nintendo needs their next consoles to be out and for it to have more power for them to get more games, but then you're getting a bunch of games on the weak hardware. Mm-hmm. So what difference does it make?
What difference does it make? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. I'll say this too. This was like, I didn't even have a discussion with this person. And I don't even remember the essence of the conversation, but basically they were saying that they were excited for Switch 2 because according to all the rumors, it should be around PlayStation 4 Pro power. And I was like, I got to thinking, and I'm like, why would you? I don't know. I was in my shadow thoughts. Like, why would you want that kind of power for that system? When I was like, graphically, is it graphically possible? Yes, but why would you want that kind of power in a system, flooding it with wattage to just try and get to that like glory point? You know what I mean? Like
30 minutes of power.
You know, like what is that really?
That most studios ain't gonna use.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like I love Nintendo. I love Nintendo as much as the next person here, but like, they aren't Tony Stark. Like, they ain't finna come out with a new, power source that's just gonna transform something that's already eating up a lot of energy into this small little wattage that's not gonna cost a whole lot of money. Like, it's not gonna happen. Now, do I think the performance and the graphics of the system will be better? Yeah, but am I expecting it to like be this like uber powerful machine that like is levels and levels ahead of like Steam Deck and the rest of them? No, I don't. Do I care? Honestly, no, I don't care. Yeah. I really don't care.
I just want the games to be fun.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it. Like,
yeah,
I just want games to be fun.
If you could show me more fun games, I'm all for it. And to be honest with you, they could have easily amassed a Switch inside a Switch 2, gave me a bigger screen, put some more newer control sticks on it, and been like, "This is the Switch 2. It uses a custom Switch. Let's see how I use that. It uses a custom Switch setup, and I'm like, dang, that's crazy because this kind of looks like the old Switch.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna keep playing the games though.
we repackaged it and gave it back to you again.
Like we gave it the Wii treatment. You know what I'm saying? We took all that extra power that we had underclocked and just overclocked it to the regular. And here you go. Here it is. You're like, dang, okay. It's in a new beautiful shell. I'm fine with that. You're okay.
Just bring back the Miiverse. Please bring back the Miiverse.
And I'm pretty sure that the battery life one is going to be pretty comparable to what we already got, which is, comparable to a PS5 controller. But it'll for the whole.
Depending on what you're playing, it does depend on what you're playing. Because if you're playing like an indie game, you're going to get pretty good. Like
you're probably going to get around 7 hours.
Yeah,
and realistically, that's fine because Nintendo is still killing everybody else in battery power. Like, I still don't understand to this day how Sony has not called up somebody and like, look, 3 to 5 hours is not enough. Like, we not doing enough. They got 60 hours. Can we at least get 10? You know what I mean?
Like, the sad thing about that is the PS3 controller had, what was it, 60 to 80 hours battery life?
Yeah, depending on what game you play.
Yeah, how do you go backwards?
It was generally dictated by how much the rumble worked.
Yeah. But I was like, dude, you go backwards from that. Like I said, for my PS4 Pro,
they tried to stick a bunch of features on the controller that they weren't using.
Yeah, because my PS4 Pro, I have a third-party controller because I got tired of that freaking PS4 controller. That just only stayed up for like 4 hours, and I like playing RPGs, which means it's nothing for me to have a 6-hour gaming session on a Saturday.
Yep, just sitting there chilling out, snacking and gaming.
And my controller dies, and I'm in the middle of a doggone game. I'm like, wait, what? So I went and got a third-party controller. I got a Nacon, and that thing is beautiful. It's bug. But
does what Sony don't.
Don't. Basically. So I've never understood that. So yeah, I know this month is going to be crazy for everybody, especially if you're me, because you got a lot of stuff coming out. Coming out.
Hey.
It's a lot of stuff. So
it's a happy time, but it's also a time of suffering.
Yeah. Good thing for me, I already had one thing pre-ordered and paid off, so I don't have to worry about actually paying for that. So and I'm probably gonna wind up double dipping Echoes of Wisdom because I'm gonna have to get that physical copy.
I feel that.
Have to. So yeah, I'm on that at this point. But
Capcom gonna be hurting my pockets, unfortunately.
Yeah, because I went in, I went on and pre-ordered that Fighting Classics because I was like,
I'm just gonna go ahead and get it.
Yeah, and because I think November's when the physical releases.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to double dip that.
My problem is I'm probably gonna pick it up on Switch and PC.
Oh yeah, I gotta get a physical copy of that because that's just They got too many games that I miss, like Children of the Atom.
But you would think this would clue Capcom in on what they should be selling.
Yeah, I think that's what they're doing too. Like when they drop these, I feel like somebody's
the waters.
Yeah, it's like somebody's doing their job. Somebody is like, you know what? Oh, that's trending. Like with the first collection with MVC and all that. Like, oh, wait a minute. Yeah. I think they really are kind of feeling this. Like, let's see if we can drop some more like this.
I'm not gonna lie though, I was surprised when I saw that one that they put in that latest partner direct when it was like Power Stone and Power Stone 2. I was surprised.
Bro,
I was surprised.
Plasma Sword? What?
Yeah.
But they put Plasma Sword in there, but then didn't do the preview the prequel to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they did.
There's 2 games to that. There's Plasma Sword and Star Gladiator. No, was it Star Gladiator?
I don't know about that. I only know about Plasma.
I know there's 2 games to the series because the boy Hayato was from them.
Mm-hmm.
But now I want to check this up real quick to be sure.
Yeah, so I mean, It's gonna be one, man. It's really gonna be one.
Yeah, it was Star Gladiator.
So
Star Gladiator, then Plasma Sword. I'm like, yeah, y'all just start putting out more of these games, and y'all need to do Final Fight 4 because everybody waiting on it.
Mm-hmm.
they put it in Street Fighter. That's all. Like, why did y'all not? No, like you should have had
we
it
are
separate.
not accepting that.
Yeah, no, I'm
He
just
said
saying.
not acceptable.
I'm just saying though. That's what I'm like. Y'all saw what Streets of Rage 4 did. Why ain't y'all doing Final Fight 4?
Because I'm still sitting back on when Sega said like 15 years ago they wanted to do a crossover of Streets of Rage and Final Fight.
Mm-hmm.
Streets of Rage 4 has come out.
Yep.
Let's get Final Fight 4. Then
Right.
work on that crossover.
Yep.
And it's not like Capcom and Sega haven't crossed over before.
Right.
Project Cross Zone. They did it twice.
So like at this point, y'all just need to do a Sega cross Capcom and call it a day.
Right.
And make it do that, and or if you really want to be slick, Sega cross Capcom cross Nintendo, and have it in the Power Stone setup, but you're picking up Chaos Emeralds and Power Stones.
Oh, that would be cool.
Be having people confused as all hell.
Right.
Yep.
And for extra flavor, the Star Spirits from Mario, Super Mario RPG.
That would be hilarious because nobody would know what the world going
Have
on.
all of them things going on at the same time, and up to 16 players on a screen.
Yeah,
Bro,
that would be crazy.
Pure chaos.
Yeah,
and I'd be there for it.
Oh yeah, most people would. Most people would, to be honest. I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't be.
Because Gaming Press tells them they shouldn't.
Right.
Yeah. Which is why I've just been finding myself more and more just like, dude, I can't believe people don't think for themselves. But then again, I can't be surprised with that too much. So, oh well. All right, peeps, we're gonna call it an episode. So next week, if you guys been following it in the Discord and on the community tab, we will be having episode 200 is going to be a Q&A episode. So you can either put your questions in our Discord, or you can put them in Twitter. I will leave a Twitter post up and I'll pin it, and you can leave the questions there, and we will go through them, and that'll be episode 200. Also, when you have a chance, congratulate Action Jack, him and his, I think this is his fiance.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
I believe so.
Yes,
they just welcomed their baby today,
a couple hours ago.
So congratulations go out to Jack. So when you have a chance, please stop by, let him know congratulations and all that stuff as well. Is there anything I'm forgetting? I don't think there's anything I'm forgetting. Sandstorm, anything you want to pimp out?
Yeah. So yesterday we kind of caught up with the end of the summer review, even though that's at the end of September. Just wanted to get a jump on it because everybody's clamoring for Switch 2 to be talked about this month. There's I'm still October. I'm hardcore October. October 11th, by the way. But then I also heard one of the guys on Nintendo Prime say that it was going to be the same day that they unveil the museum, Nintendo Museum. And I thought, that's actually not that bad of an idea. But that's still in October. So, yeah, just wanted to get a jump on that. Jay was on the channel with us, and we kind of talked about that and catching up to the summer. So if you haven't checked that out, go check that out. And make sure you hit the subscribe button as well, so we can get back to all our glory. Follow everybody here on the Wingin podcast. That's me, Andre, Jay, Jack, Shadow, who unfortunately is in whining and dining his wife right now, and Vicky. Shout outs to Trey Vito. Make sure you go subscribe to his channel as well, and Notica Yui. We've got 2 new channels actually coming very soon. Notos for the anime piece. So like all of that is going to be animated related. So now you'll have a gaming piece, you'll have music and entertainment, and you will have anime are 3 core pieces to the overall Sandstorm piece as that come. And then the other channel we can't talk about just yet. We still have to make sure that everything is all good with that before we talk about it. Tomorrow is Monday, and we have the Jill podcast, the Juice is Loose podcast. So make sure you head over there as we talk about whatever it is we talk about. I'm sure Juice will have a topic for us, and we'll go crazy over that. So that is at 7:00 as well. And yeah, I believe that's it.
All right, Andre.
Unfortunately, I have nothing to pimp out this week because I've recorded stuff and then I turned up not liking it. So I'm like, nah, I'm not going to release this.
Okay.
I'm going to wait in the wings on it. But I'm trying to get stuff recorded. I'm trying to record stuff ahead of time because I'm starting a new job, which is going to take up more time. But that's also that's not a big deal right now. But I'm trying to get stuff out. I've got multiple subjects I want to cover and some stuff I think that people would find either entertaining or dislike me for. Either way, it's going to get engagement.
Okay.
Look, this has been my year. This has been my year to antagonize people for some reason.
Apparently,
I don't know why.
Apparently, all right. Okay, people. So thank you to everybody in the chat. We appreciate you. Like I said, next week is going to be episode 200. It will be our annual Q&A. So please leave your questions either in our Discord or on the pinned tweet at Wingin It Podcast at Wingin It Crew on X or Twitter, or however you want to call it. And thank you guys, and we'll see you guys next Sunday. Peace out.
Peace, people.
Peace.